out to the field, climb a tree, shoot a deer. I reminisce about these days, man, I get a chill. We keep our trucks lifted up so high, we gotta lock them down in a four-wheel drive. Sideways in a mud hole, that's just how it goes round here. I'm talking about the southern.
What's up guys, it's Cade here. We are here at my family shop, Alabama Archery Academy, and we are here tonight after hours, and we're about to set up my new hunting bow. I'm really excited about this. Been waiting a little while to get this thing in. Won't be able to hunt with it until next season, but we got the brand new Hoyt RX3 Ultra. And it's the Ultra, and it is a 34-inch AXCEL bow. If you want to check out all the specs and stuff for it, go to their Hoyt's website. But it is, I'm excited about it because this is my first 80-pound hunting bow. And that's a lot. I've never shot one. We got some plans coming up. We ain't gonna tell y'all about them yet, but 25 High has some awesome plans here in the future for some hunts and stuff. So I wanted to get a bow that was just a touch more versatile. So I wanted to get an 80-pound bow. Gonna be fun to shoot, really fun to shoot. But what this video is about is just a little bit of insight on how I would set up my hunting bow, what I do, a little bit of why I do it. But I'm glad y'all are watching. If you hadn't already, like and subscribe. But the first thing we're about to do is about to adjust my draw length. We're gonna slap on all my accessories, my sight and my rest and stabilizers and stuff like that, and then we're gonna go to the loop, peep, all that stuff. so I know I'm going to get some questions about this. Alright, so on the Hoyt, you can now mount a rear bracket to it, and this is your standard Hoyt back bar bracket. So you can have it to where to sit on that groove, and like on a tournament bow, it can lock down by using this groove right here. What I do is I use this groove right here to kind of go as a lockdown to where it won't move but so much on the bar, and let it face down. That way I don't have the back bar bracket sitting out so far to the side, because it would be out here if you laid it normally. Just the way I like to do it on my hunting bows. If you hadn't tried it, you ought to think about giving it a shot if you have this system. But I really like it. Really expecting the center shot to be close to the same as on my RX1. So we're going to fine tune that later, but right now I'm thinking I'm going to like it the way it sits so far. Now it's time to get everything ready for the dealer. Alright guys, so I hadn't cut them off or anything yet obviously, but for what I'm just setting up with this bow, 80 pounds, I got the Black Eagle deep impacts. I don't know if that's zooming or focusing right, but alright, so I know they look kind of crazy right now because the nock's back here and the fletchings. I gotta refletch them. I wasn't planning on using this nock system when I originally fletched them. I've had them fletched for 5 weeks now. That's about how long it took me to get this bow in, 5-6 weeks. So I'm going to have to refletch them. They sit really far forward. They're probably going to get in the way of the air rest right now, but we're going to work around it. Then I'll refletch them when I get some extra time. If y'all hear some heavy breathing while I'm doing this video, it is Lucille. I don't know, y'all never met Lucille? Lucille, come here. This is Lucille. She's our shop mascot. She comes with me to work every day. And everybody here at the shop just loves her. But she's hanging out with me this afternoon. Anyway, but this arrow is the deep impact. It's a slightly smaller diameter arrow. It is smaller than your standard, like your standard size hunting arrow, like a Black Eagle Zombie Slayer is pretty much a standard size shaft. It's around that 0.246 size, roughly. And then so it is a smaller shaft. I believe it is a 0.204. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on any type of that spec, because I'd have to look it up. I talk about bows and arrows so much I just get them confused from time to time. But anyway, this has, right now this is a AAE Stealth Max Vane, and I will run these. I'm going to refletch them, but I will end up using these vanes. I'm about 99% sure. But this is an igniter lighted nock system. I wanted a lighted nock that was rigid, like stout. It didn't bend, it didn't flex. So I'm trying out these outsert systems with the lighted nock in it. Obviously the lighted nock is not in it at the moment. That's one thing that's really cool. I'm not sponsored by Igniter. I know the people that run it, really great people, but so I like using their products. Anyway, you can take the lighted nock out and shoot it, and then put it back in when you're getting ready to go hunting, and the lighted nock, and the battery only weighs about 5 grains, so it's not that really relevant unless you're shooting, you know, past 50 yards. But we're gonna put it on here. Alright, so a lot of people use air squares. If you use air squares, that is awesome. I have learned how I like having my arrows laying, and I just eyeball them. I mean, air squares are awesome. There's a reason they make air squares. I don't use them. If somebody comes into the shop and I'm running it and somebody asks me to use an air square, I'll use it. But me personally, do not like it. Kind of gets me out of my comfort zone and what I like to do. So I'm just gonna eyeball this right here. That looks pretty close. Yeah, we're gonna try it right there. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to do a couple nock sets. I'm gonna tie in a nock set above the nock, below the nock, and then we're gonna work on getting the D loop tied. Timing ought to be relatively close right now because I looked at that earlier before I started recording, right after I put the strings on. Alright, so the first thing I do is I get me some serving, some relatively big serving. I like to use like a 0.02, and we're gonna start out, and I always try to use something different color. I'm using blue. Really don't really worry about that. Really don't worry about having, you know, matching colors on this because it's really hard to see anyway. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of put it on top of the nock up underneath the string. I hope you can see that. And then I'm gonna basically just what I call, I don't know if this is the proper term, but what I call a box knot, where you kind of run it through itself twice and then cinch it down. Then you go to the bottom, run it through there twice, pull it up, cinch it down. I'm gonna go twice, 3 times on the top and 2 times on the bottom. Through there again. And then after I get done with it, I'm just going to run through it one time, put it down, move the nock out of the way, and then burn it off. And I'm going to do the same thing to the below it. Sake of video time, I'm not going to film it. And then we're going to go to the next step. Alright, so there's hundreds of videos on on YouTube that cover tying D loops, so I'm really not going to go over that. I'm just going to tie it. Once you get used to tying them, it becomes really easy. It's very tricky to begin with, but once you get going, it becomes like a second nature. Cut it off. And all my D loops end up coming around 3/4 of an inch. My draw length is 30 inches, so D loops are right at 3/4 of an inch. Take the arrow off. And I'm not going to completely cinch it down yet, just going to get it pretty snug. That way when I put the peep in, I can still kind of rotate it a little bit. Nice and snug. Knot pinch is a little tighter than what I'd like it, but I think it's going to work just fine. Remember, fire always goes up. Fire always goes up. don't want to burn your strands. Alright. On to the next thing. Alright, so what I did is I drew it back and kind of moved this strand down and just kept moving it down until I was able to find my about where my peep pipe is going to be. So now we're going to go put the peep pipe in, put this zombie slayer in there just to make sure I didn't dry fire it. So I'm going to put that peep in, and I use for most hunting situations, I use a 1/8 size peep. May drill it out, not sure. Gonna do some playing around with it. So separate that. I'll put a peep in there. That's why I didn't cinch it all down. Okay, now I'm gonna draw it back a couple times. Move this back. I think that's going to be perfect. That's going to be close enough. I'm going to tie it in for right now. Shoot it, try it out, and see what's going on. And while I'm just testing peep pipes out, it takes me a while before I tie the peep completely in, for me personally. I do a lot of tweaking with it while shooting, trying to see what actually is best for me in any type of situation. So I'm just going to put a safety tie around the peep itself and the little groove around the peep. Now I know that's what some peep companies only recommend. I'm more of a fan of completely cinching them down eventually, after I get it completely to where I know I'm not going to move it any further. I'll do like a series of half inches. Use a little bit smaller so I don't know more different. So if I have to tie that, it's going to be a pain to cut off. But it's a lot more sweet. Okay. Now the next thing is going to be, since we got the loop on there, we're going to double check the timing and then we're going to kind of figure out the length of the arrow, the length of what I want the arrow to be. I like to run my arrows relatively short. I mean, through usually midway of the shelf, but I do have an outsert system on this, so I'm going to have to make sure it's on there. My timing's a little bit off. overdraw it slightly. I'm going to go ahead and overdraw it slightly. And then I'm going to figure out my arrow length. Sharpen. I was so prepared for this, guys. I did not know this bow was coming in. Alright, so I'm going to mark my arrow. My top fin is a little bit faster than my bottom fin. So my top cam is a little bit faster than my bottom cam, so I'm going to put a twist. I always prefer to put twist into. If you can, always help it, put twist into the string. If you take it out, it's not going to hurt anything, you know, but my thought process, and some people may agree, some people may disagree, but my thought process is if you put it in, it's just going to force the serving tighter with the string turning into it up underneath where the serving goes over, if that makes any sense. If you take twist out, it can loosen up the string up underneath the serving, which could cause premature serving separation. So if I can always help it, I always add. So I went ahead and cut my arrow and put 100 grains up front. I actually don't have 125 grain tips in for these arrows right now, so I'm going to end up going to 125 more than likely. Just depends on speed. If I can go 125 without sacrificing too much, I am going to go 125. So went ahead and did that. We're going to check the time again while giving this arrow another minute to dry, and then we're going to shoot. Really excited to actually shoot. Just double check the time first. Last time I added one twist into it, so I'm going to take half of that one twist out. Shoot it. Let's see what it does. Alright guys, we're about to shoot it to the chronograph. Then I'm going to go back and weigh this area so I can let y'all know. We're going to see what she's doing. I'm gonna try to zoom in. Okay, no, that is not what mine's shooting. That is what was last shot out of it. $298. One more time to concur. Takes some getting used to drawing 80. Duplicate. 298. I'm gonna grab my arrow scale. We're gonna find out how heavy it is. Alright, so it's a little bit lighter than I thought it was going to end up being. These arrows are 11 grains per inch. Let's see if I can. .503 exactly. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to shoot it just a few times, and then we're going to call it a night. As I'm filming this, it's 10:40. Okay, so in comparison, my Redworks RX1 Ultra that I hunted with this past year was shooting the Zombie Slayers, which ended up weighing around 380-ish grains at 315 or 314, and this bow is 80 pounds, shooting 503 grains. At 298. It's going to be a lot more push through power. Wall feels great. Pretty quiet too. Makes it louder in this building. And this bow feels good. Alright guys, so I appreciate y'all watching. I know I didn't cover a lot on tuning. It actually shot pretty good through paper. Not done tuning the bow, by no means. But that's all I'm going to do tonight. That's all we're going to post with this video. If I get into some more in-depth stuff, I'll try to video it and post it up later. But I know I'm really looking forward to shooting this bow some more, and looking forward to killing some animals with it next year. Hopefully can find someone to do some hog hunting over the spring and summer. I'm gonna go after some turkeys, but not with the bow, I don't think. But I appreciate y'all watching. Always keep in mind, if you're ever in South Alabama, look us up, Alabama Archery Academy. I always am here pretty much. If we're open, I'm here. Check us out on Facebook, Alabama Archery Academy. But also, if you hadn't yet, 25 feet high, like and subscribe. If you have some questions or something that you would like to see in a later video, leave it in the comments down below. We'll definitely try to get to any questions or anything like that when it comes to either setting up a bow or stuff like that, stuff that you wouldn't commonly see on YouTube. That, I mean, I know you see bow setups, stuff like that, but always keep in mind that, you know, there is some things that I do differently. Not, you know, I mean, it just depends on who you are, whether you like it. We've had I've had really good success with the ways I've been doing it, the ways that I've had people teach me over the years, what I've taught to people, and what I learn every day. You learn something new every day when it comes to working on bows. But well, I appreciate y'all watching. Check out Black Eagle arrows if you hadn't done that before. Check out Black Eagle arrows. Make out awesome. It's a very superior product. THREADZ custom bowstring. Get you some of these beautiful strings right here. They can do almost any color you can imagine. And then, yeah, like you said, if you're ever in South Alabama, come check me out here at Alabama Archery Academy. And make sure y'all continue living life 25 high.